Hey everyone, welcome to week 7 of our in-home workouts. Today we've got a full body cardio strength workout coming to you. We're going to do 30 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest for each exercise, running through the circuit 2 times through. If you want to challenge yourself, you can do each exercise for a minute with a 10 to 15 second rest 2 times through as well. So let's get started. I'll show you all these exercises in the workout. The first one is going to be jumping jacks. So you're just going to start standing, then those arms are going to come overhead. So those legs spread out. You've got 30 seconds of jumping jacks right here. 10-second rest, and then you're gonna go straight into squats. So if you're a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, chest nice and tall, core in tight. We're gonna sit back and down, pushing those hips back, driving up with the glutes, pushing through those heels. After your squats, you've got crunches. So you're gonna be on the ground. I'm gonna have my legs at a 90-degree angle. Hands are gonna be behind the head, making sure we're not pulling on the neck. It's just as a place that we can really focus on driving, using the core, and the chin's gonna raise up towards the ceiling and lower. And lower. So making sure we're not pulling on the head to get up, using the core to drive up. After crunches, we've got burpees. With the burpee, you're not gonna do a push-up because we're gonna get push-ups in just a sec. So with the burpee, making sure the chest stays nice and tall, we want to drop the hips back so the hands hit the ground. We don't want those hips sinking up too high. I'm going to push those feet out, kick them back in, and then jump. And then again, right here. So you've got burpees. After burpees, now we're going to do that push-up. So we're going to be in that push-up plank position, chest nice and tall, shoulder blades pulled back and down, making sure from the head to the toes we're in a neutral spine. We're going to lower the chest to the ground and then press back up for your push-up. If you need to modify, drop down to those knees right here for your push-up. After push-ups, you've got jump lunges. So you're going to be in a lunge position, making sure that knee gets close to the ground, and then you're going to jump up and switch right here, keeping the core nice and tight, making sure that knee's not tracking in. So again, we're going to be here for your jump lunge, switching, alternating for 30 seconds. After your jump lunge, we're going to be back down on that plank position, and we're going to do commandos or plank up downs. So here, I'm going to drop down to that one arm, and then switch. 30 seconds right here, making sure we're keeping that core nice and tight and engaged, and the hips not over-rotating as you're dropping down for that. Then you're going to stay on the ground. We're going to do a plank. You can do either a push-up plank or a forearm plank. So if you do your push-up plank, you're going to be in just a push-up position and hold that neutral spine right here from the head to the toes, making sure the core stays nice and tight, shoulder blades are pulled back and down. Or you can do it with the elbows on the ground, making sure those hands are pushed out as far as you can, elbows tucked in. Again, keeping the core nice and tight, neutral spine from the head to the toes. So that's going to be your plank. After planks, you're going to do skater jumps. So I'm going to start to one side and I'm going to jump to the other, landing on my opposite foot. So if I start on my left leg, my right leg's going to be up, and I'm going to jump to the right, land on that right side, making sure that knee's not buckling in, and then I'm going to alternate right here. 30 seconds. You're trying to jump as far as you can, keeping that chest tall, landing nice and gentle, absorbing that shock there. After skaters, we're going to do dips. If you have a chair, you can do dips off the chair, or you can do it on the ground, like where your hips are going to be pushed up, and then I'm going to bend at those elbows, drop down, and then drive up, squeezing those triceps. So we're getting a tricep dip right here, keeping that core tight as well. So you've got 30 seconds of your dips. Next one's going to be a lateral lunge with a knee drive. So I'm going to step out with my right leg in that lateral lunge. So as I step out, I want those feet to stay facing straight, hips still facing straight, and my knee is in line with my foot and hip. I'm going to push that hip back, so hinge, squat down, and then as I push back to the center, I'm going to drive that knee up. And then I'm going to switch. So the left leg, and same thing, drive up. What we're really trying to focus on as we're driving up is activating that opposite glute to stabilize, just as if we're running. Because when we run, you are always with one foot off the ground. Both aren't. So we really want to make sure we're activating those glutes to stabilize ourselves in on a single leg position. So that's going to be your lateral lunge with a knee drive. Then you're going to drop back down on the ground, and then we're going to do Superman. So we're working that posterior chain, extend those arms out, and what we're going to do is we're going to lift our arms and our legs at the same time, and then lower, up, and lower. Make sure those arms stay nice and straight. I don't want them too far in because I really want you to work on activating that whole posterior chain from the upper back to lower back. When you lift up, hold for a count of 1, 2, and then lower. Up, 1, 2, and lower. So you're going to do that for 30 seconds. Next one's going to be an RDL with a knee drive. So an RDL, we're doing it single-legged. So if I'm on my left leg, my right leg's going to push back, and I'm hinging at that hip, and I'm going to get a stretch through that hamstring. As I start to reach down towards the ground, I'm going to then drive that knee up, same thing, focusing on keeping that glute activated and pushing through, stabilizing ourselves. Try not to let those shoulders over-rotate as you reach down. You want to keep everything in a neutral, back, and then drive. Then you'll alternate. Same thing. Making sure shoulder blades stay back and down, core and tight. You'll feel the stretch through the hamstring, and then driving up with that glute, making sure that knee comes all the way up. Then last exercise in the circuit is going to be a dead bug. We've done this in the past, but we'll go over it again. You'll be at that 90-degree angle with the legs. Arms are going to be straight out in front. Then I'm going to alternate, take my right arm back, left arm or left leg straight out, hold for a count of 1, 2, and then return and alternate for that 30 seconds. So this is going to be your dead bug, keeping the core nice and tight, making sure those hips don't anteriorly rotate so your back starts to come off the ground. You want to keep it nice and flat. So that's going to be your body weight circuit for the day. 30 seconds for each exercise, 10 seconds rest, or if you want that challenge, do each exercise for a minute with 10 to 15 second rest. You're going to do it 2 times through. After you do this circuit, we have a little bit of core, something different we're going to incorporate today, showing you a few different core exercises that we can work at the end of our workouts. First one we're going to do is going to be called a bird dog. So we're going to be on our hands and knees right here in like a tabletop position. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I'm keeping that head to the hips nice and stable and that neutral spine. And similar to like a dead bug where we're alternating, you're going to take that right leg out and back at the same time the left arm goes out and back. As you return, you want to squeeze that glute and make sure those hips stay nice and stable. You don't want to return and have those hips start rotating and falling over. So then that means we're really not activating our core and our glutes properly. So we're a little weak in that area. So that's what we want to work on. So you're going to extend the right leg, left arm, return, and then switch. Again, hold for a count of 2 to 3, and then return. Do a total of 10 on each side, so 20 total right here. 2 to 3 times through with each of these exercises. The next one, I'm going to grab a book. So I have a book right here, and I'm going to be on my back. I'm going to extend my arm straight up with the book in hand, and then I'm going to extend both my legs straight up. I'm going to keep my left leg, so if the book's in my left arm, I'm going to keep the left leg straight, and I'm going to lower the opposite leg right here, keeping that core nice and tight, belly button to spine, back nice and flat to the floor. 10 reps on your right leg, and then you'll switch. Same thing, then the right arm stays straight, right leg stays straight, and then the left leg will lower and come up, keeping it nice and controlled. 10 reps here, 2 to 3 times for this exercise as well. We're going to be back in that tabletop position that we were just at with that bird dog, and we're going to work on shoulder taps. And I'm going to show you 2 ways of doing this exercise. One way is going to make it a little bit more challenging. So here, this time we're going to take those knees off the ground. So we're going to be hovering over the ground, and we're going to do shoulder taps. So you want to keep that core nice and tight, belly button to spine, back nice and flat. And as I do those shoulder taps, I don't want those hips rotating so I can get a shoulder tap. You want to keep it nice and stable and square right here for your shoulder taps. Nice and controlled, 20 taps total. Or for an advanced version of this exercise, start there. If you want to give yourself a challenge and try this exercise, you're going to be in that same position, knees off the ground, and now I'm going to lift my right leg as my left arm taps, and then switch and hold. So this is becoming a full body exercise. You'll feel it also in your quads to stabilize. So that's going to be your other core exercise. Remember, do those exercises 2 to 3 times, 10 to 20 reps each. Give this workout a try, so start with that circuit and then add the core at the end. See ya.